What's up, everybody? I'm the sports judge. Hope your day is a good one. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Thanks for watching, as always. The only way they're going to get more out of this roster is by changing the coaching staff. I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys, by the way. There's one notable name on the market. That would be Bill Belichick. This team needs a kick in the ass. The Dallas Cowboys, they need a change. A coach who is stern, a new voice, and a new look. They need an overhaul, a massive overhaul. They need someone highly respected and experienced. They need more discipline. And Belichick is that guy. This is the team for him. It just makes sense. And I know he interviewed with the Atlanta Falcons, but I like him for the Cowboys. I'm just a huge fan of him. I feel like I talk about him even more now that he's available. This is a good man in many ways. He's a 6-time Super Bowl champion, well-respected, a well-respected man, witty, charismatic, and unafraid. The one thing that stands out to me the most is accountability. I like that word accountability. I bring up the word accountability because, as we know, and as good as this Cowboys team was, there was a lack of accountability. Big word, accountability. That's a big word, accountability. It was not a good look for the Cowboys. And what went wrong over the weekend for Mike McCarthy? And you know, this collapse, an epic beatdown, not a good look for Mike McCarthy. This calls for change. Mike McCarthy needs to be out of a job. Now, if you're Jerry Jones, it's a matter of how you accept the reality of what Mike McCarthy is as a head coach. You know you're gonna get 12 wins each year, but you're not gonna get over the hump with a guy like Mike McCarthy. Somebody who is not going to hold people accountable, you're not gonna get very far. Somebody who is not going to show tough love and tell someone if they screw up, you know, you're not gonna get results. He's not going to tell a player to sit their ass on the bench. That's not what Mike McCarthy's going to do. This was the best Cowboys roster expectation-wise that we've seen in a long time. We've witnessed on Sunday the Dallas Cowboys get absolutely embarrassed. The Cowboys are dead. They're sitting at home wondering what the hell went wrong. And to me, this is probably a blessing in disguise. This is probably the best thing that could have happened to the Cowboys. Lose in embarrassing fashion. The Dallas Cowboys, this was their year. This was their year. That's what you heard all year long, repeatedly. They're going to the Super Bowl. Oh my God, this is a Super Bowl team. This is finally our year. We're talking about how these Cowboys were going to be the best team in football. Stop it. They only beat up on bad teams and got punked by the good teams. You have a coach who can't get out of his own way. You have a coach who is set in his ways, who's going to be the way he is. The point is, the Cowboys had a lot of signs that he was not the best fit. So this tells me everything. Mike McCarthy has to go. But if this team is only satisfied about winning 12 games and content with coming up short every January, then you stay with McCarthy. If this team wants to continue to be laughable frauds, then you stick with McCarthy. If you want to be average and not elite, then guess what? Mike McCarthy is your guy. And if you're being honest, You know it's time to move on from Mike McCarthy. Cowboys fans are calling for this guy's job. So you can say, well, the Cowboys got a coach who doesn't take responsibility and who never has his team entirely prepared. That's what we saw on Sunday, right? If there's no change, you can't expect anything different next year. I really think Bill Belichick could work in Dallas if they surround him with the right personnel or if they are willing to do GM by committee. Well, and then you might say, well, if Jerry Jones couldn't make it, work with Bill Parcells, then how can we expect him to fit into this organization? That being Bill Belichick. I mean, it can work. I'm going to be optimistic about it. I'm going to give it a chance. With one exception, Jerry Jones needs to give up control and get out of the way and let someone like Bill Belichick coach this damn team. It's as simple as that. This is an extraordinary offseason for great head coaching in terms of availability. Jones needs to make a change, and he knows he needs to make a change. And he needs to make a huge coaching hire. The hope is he comes in. The hope is Bill Belichick comes in. He brings a winning culture and a championship pedigree. We all know what his resume looks like. We know he has the credentials to be a great head coach. We saw it in New England. Now, can I see Jerry Jones ceding power or control to somebody like Belichick? I don't care. I don't care who you are. Look, Jones is set in his ways. He's been this way about his franchise for years. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. And I think if this is to work out, the Belichick experiment, okay, let's say McCarthy gets fired and Jones aggressively pursues Belichick and he gets the job in Dallas. The only way I can see this being a disaster is if Jerry Jones stubbornly and unwillingly doesn't let Belichick coach. Just let the man do his damn job. That's what he's there for. He's there to be the head coach of the team. I think Belichick is the best candidate. Who knows what will happen, but I believe Belichick is a no-brainer. The talent is there. And as we all know, Belichick can definitely fix the defense. The real question here is, does Belichick want to work with Jerry Jones? Now, that's a big question. That's the big question right there. Now, that kind of coach, oh my God. We're talking about a Super Bowl winning coach. The Cowboys are going to change culture-wise. It's going to be a difference in attitude, in-game strategies. You're going to see players being held accountable. You're going to see a more disciplined football team. You're going to see a more fundamentally sound football team. You're going to see a completely different roster. And there is only one Bill Belichick. Okay? There's only one Bill Belichick. You have the opportunity to hire him. You got to go after him. You got to pursue him aggressively. And I think if the Cowboys decide to part ways with head coach Mike McCarthy, in which they should, and pursue the former New England icon, Jones is going to have some competition because, look, we heard about Bill Belichick's interview with the Atlanta Falcons. You know, the Atlanta Falcons are in on Bill Belichick. They had completed an interview with Bill Belichick. You know, because he is a hot commodity on the market. Right? We all know what he's done in the course of his career. And, it looks like Atlanta right now seems to be the front runner and have interest in him. But Jerry Jones needs to get on the phone and have a conversation with Bill Belichick about becoming the next head coach. Because let me tell you something, man. Mike McCarthy, he ain't it. He ain't it. We saw that this past season, and we saw that in the previous season. We've seen it ever since he became the head coach in Dallas. And I've been saying it, and you guys heard me say it over and over and over again, that he is a yes man. He is a yes man. I think you look at a guy like Bill Belichick. He's an attractive name. He's an attractive name. He would bring some hope to this franchise. Maybe get this team finally over the hump. But as we all know, Arthur Blank, man, he is very interested in Bill Belichick. And he's a high-profile coach. And Blank is pursuing him in his next hire. And I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, it's a young roster. Yes. Would Bill want that job? Could that possibly be his next landing spot? But I like the Cowboys. The Cowboys, look, they better make a move. This is time to part ways with Mike McCarthy. Get rid of Mike McCarthy. Get rid of Dan Quinn. It's time for a whole new regime. I think moving forward, Bill is your guy.